I said like 10 times.
It's the big show. Let's make the list. Oh God, all these lists I always want to start are always like I want to start it too late. I think it was, we were like 110 shows in before I wanted the roll up counter.
Oh yeah,
I guess,
that would have been
and kind of halfway through the year, we were way too far in. I'm doing the roll up counter for Jan 1 though. Watch out, Jan 1.
Starting next year.
Starting next year, we're counting roll ups. We're breaking it down by brand.
Yeah, over under 100 roll ups.
But between all 5 shows and pay-per-views, I mean, I'd take that. Yeah,
just the 2 WWE shows.
Well, okay.
100
but yeah, I think for the statisticians, we're keeping all the stats.
Yeah. So that'd be like I think you could reach 100. One roll up a show on Raw and SmackDown seems about reasonable. 52 weeks a year. That means you could have 4 weeks with no roll ups and still get away with it.
That's a lot of TV to not have a roll up though.
I'm sure there's at least 1 or 2 episodes where they don't. But still, I think they hit that 100 number because some episodes you have like 3 roll ups in a night and you're like, what the fuck?
Oh, that big hundo.
Yeah. We'll try next year. We'll
I'm not trying. I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm doing.
Remember.
Well, if we're talking surprise roll-ups, we're talking Troop Brothers Wrestling. How's that for an intro?
That's right.
Take that intro.
The premier
wrestling
podcast.
Not
the premiere of the show.
Oh, okay.
The premier wrestling.
The premier wrestling podcast. It's online. It's hosted by myself, Cameron Osborne. It's also hosted by Mike the Shoot Shepherd. Oh wow! It was a fire off. And we got another great week. Not only, this is no normal week of professional wrestling. We were all waiting for it. We were all waiting for September 5th, 2021. We were waiting for months now.
Yeah, and the closer we got, the bigger the hype got. The return upon returns. It was just madness, and of course the matches. My God, the matches. We'll get to that and all, but
and of course,
it was a
monumental week in that regard. Of course, we have Monday Night Raw, SmackDown. This is our very last 2. Also, NXT. It's the last time we'll see the human skull on the bird wings. It's the last time the X. Is slightly larger in the font than the N and the T beside it. Big week for kind of across the board here.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on.
Jesus Christ. Well, let's just...
As always.
And we're going to Saudi. We'll talk about that. But yeah, let's get into it then, shall we? Let's kick off the show with some professional wrestling action because not just 2 nights before our big All Out pay-per-view, of course, we need to ram that page.
That's right. Get your books out and start hammering them down, folks. Because it's Rampage. It's Friday night. You know what that means.
It's Friday night, and do you know what that means? And it's Sunday night, and do you know what that means? Yeah. But yeah, one thing I like about these Rampage shows, we're kind of 2 weeks. Is this Rampage number 3, maybe 4?
I think it's like 4, maybe even 5. No, probably 4.
Brad, Jesus Christ! They tell us all 3 matches even before the show comes on. And these 3 matches in 1 hour is the perfect amount of time. It is the perfect amount of time to watch something quickly go by. And this was great. First match of the night, Malachi Black taking on Lee Johnson.
Yeah, Malachi Black didn't quite make his way onto the pay-per-view card here. But, hey, he's still out there looking strong. Johnson gets a couple moves in, does okay, but Black just takes over. Those kicks of his are too much. And then at one point he just grabs a chair and it's like, yeah, how about you use this, Lee? And then Lee picks it up, but he hesitates, and that moment just allows him to hit him with the Black Mass. which I'm not sure what they call it yet. I don't think they call it the Black Mass.
Yeah, they've said something else. Excalibur has said something.
He's just like, what a kick! Or something. Yeah. Either way, Malachi wins as expected.
The kick from the side kick.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called. Lee Johnson, he's Nightmare Factory, right? Really taking a hit since
family?
Family?
Yeah, family, not factory, I think.
Factory, not family.
Good guys.
The good guy. Either way, taking a hit since Cody's big RIP at the hands of Malachi
Cody's
Black.
I think, what did I say? Cody's off filming another season of that show, and he's got his reality show out now, which they showed a commercial for it, and the crowd booed.
Really? So. I didn't catch that.
I don't know if it was on this show. At some point, they played an ad for it, and I just heard like boo in the background.
That's funny. That's funny. But yeah, big match kick off the show.
Yeah. So what's next? Rebel and Jamie Hayter take on Chris Statlander. Handicap match.
Handicap 2-on-1. Chris Statlander has the opportunity. She's got the title opportunity on Sunday at All Out, though.
Yeah, and she's perhaps one of the strongest women in the division. As during the match, at one point, she had Rebel on her shoulders. And then Jamie Hayter jumps at her, and she catches her as well, holding both women up, slams them down. There's like a big totem pole drop, big pop. It was great.
Totem pole driver!
Yeah. And then even more cool moves from Statlander. She gets Rebel, and she like pulls her arms behind her legs, and like you're all tied up. They call it the spider crab. And she can't even tap out. She's all tied up, so she just has to verbally submit. So big, strong win.
I quit.
Yeah, big win. Nice Statlander victory. Looking strong.
Yeah, setting her up for that championship match. One thing, so I'm still kind of confused about how how the filming of it all works. I don't know what goes on. Last week, Rampage was filmed after Dynamite. But this week, Rampage was live from the place where the All Out, or from the same arena where All Out was taking place. I have no clue, because this show is sometimes pre-taped, sometimes not. Do we know what's happening here? Am I alone on this?
No, I think that's just the way it's going to be, is depending on their location and what they're planning to do that week. Probably bigger audiences. They probably want to stack with both cards.
And then it just seems like Dark Elevation just kind of gets filmed either wherever they sort of can. It's weird.
I think I heard that they're going to start filming Dark in like a studio. It'll be like an NXT, like a smaller scale type thing.
Oh yeah, both the YouTube shows.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one. I just heard something about that. So we'll see.
Are you talking AC Dirt these days? Have you been talking to him?
That's a little sprinkle of dirt he sent my way. Over the. Anyways, they did announce that match that was removed from All Out, Pac versus Andrade. We'll get that next week on September 10th, Rampage.
Hell yeah! Glad we're still getting it, and that it wasn't like an injury. Maybe it was a legit travel.
I think it was just travel. Yeah, like okay, well, you got to quarantine for 2 weeks, or I don't know, something. Who knows?
However that works.
We're getting the match. But the main event of this night was Darby Allin taking on Daniel Garcia, with CM Punk sitting there on commentary.
I think this one was actually Punk and Jericho. It was a twofer.
Yeah.
It was a twofer.
It was a lot. Yeah, there was a crowded desk. There was like 5 guys on this desk. But
and Mark Henry. Excalibur.
Yeah, Mark Henry, Excalibur. I think Tony was there.
Schiavone.
Anyways, the match is fine. Darby's flying around through the timekeeper table. Sting's fighting off with 2.0 on the outside. And, people just slamming around in the barricades. Eventually, Darby hits a code red and locks in his, I forget what he called it, the Last Supper? Yeah, that's what it is. Mm-hmm. The Last Supper to get the 3 count. Then, 2.0, jump him. Punk comes down. Gets in their face, and then, him and Darby just kind of face off, go face to face to end the show.
The old stare down. God, 2.0 have to be like the luckiest, one of the luckiest tag teams, or just like professional wrestlers out there. Like they have a job, they lose that job, get immediately hired to a new job, and then work with Sting and CM Punk immediately. There was no these guys. I don't know what they're doing right back there, but god damn it, and they're good Canadian kids.
Yeah, no, they got charisma. You know, they've been on TV every week, so Tony Khan's got faith in them. He's like, yeah, we don't have to warm you up on Dark. We're putting you straight on the big show, boys.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, you know, CM Punk and Darby Allin closed out the show, but I'm thinking to myself, god damn, that 2.0. Lucky guys, that 2.0. And great episode of Rampage. Number 4. God, I can't wait till our 100th Rampage.
Well, should we just jump right into the pay-per-view then?
Let's hop into the pay-per-view. Because the 2 days later, Sunday, from the Now Arena. Now, you know, of course, the company famous for making those mixed CDs. Is it
the same one?
Probably not.
Now 1, Now 2. I used to love those albums.
I'm gonna say Now 9 is where I probably bowed out. If I were to
eventually you're like, I don't need to buy these. I can just burn my own versions.
Wait, I think
with all the songs I want.
Big Shiny Tune 6 was the one, and then after that, I think I probably had 7. Didn't land as hard, and but either way, so clearly this organization did not make enough money to buy an entire arena. We are at the Now Arena with All Out 2021. Review. Probably with a pre-show that I didn't watch. It was a bunch of tag teams. You know how they love to do it over there.
Yeah, 10-man match. It was basically the Best Friends and the Jungle Express against the Hardys. And you know what to expect. Bunch of jumps and flips and stunts and dinosaur moves. And eventually, and Helico taps out to Jungle Boy, so the good guys get the win.
Yeah, and then a babyface win. Exactly. Yeah, not much to it, but I guess you need a pre-show match at this point, right? I guess you got to kind of get the crowd in.
Yeah, get them warmed up. It's for the people. So, you know, some people get there early, some people are still lined up, so you get a little bit of time. And then at the very end, we had the return of the Butcher when they did a beatdown, so he's back.
Yes. The Every Time I Die album comes out October 22nd. He has finished he has finished his recording commitments. I can tell you, I know this for a truth.
For a truth.
The album is coming out. Well, I know that. But yeah, album's coming out. So Butcher's back. And hey, I don't know about you, but I definitely missed him.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been Blade and the Bunny and those brass knuckles for such a long time. Now we got the Butcher back. And apparently they got a pair of scissors now because they were also trying to cut Orange Cassidy's hair off as well.
Which is tough because it's not like he has long hair to begin with.
Yeah, it's not long, but I mean, he's still got kind of a signature do.
He is,
that.
Oh, maybe we'll get, I think we're getting Butcher Cassidy in a hair match. We have to have a hair match at one point.
Maybe. I mean, Butcher's got a lot more to lose there. Those big mustache, big hair.
Exactly, right? I mean, let's get into the card because we're not talking about facial hair. We're not talking about hair here on the Shoot Brothers Professional Wrestling Podcast. And let's get fired up for All Out.
We do have a shooty for it, though.
There is best hair. That's a good point. And if there was a hair versus hair match, that would probably be a big part of the decision-making process for the shooty. But if let's talk competitors with no hair. Very little hair, a beard, and short hair. We kick off All Out with a TNT Championship match. Hey, it's Eddie Kingston taking on Miro, the big bad, whatever undefeated streak they keep telling me about.
Yeah. The big, bad, evil giant. But the crowd's super hot for Eddie. And, this match was cool. Kingston was kind of doing little bit of a different style. A lot more like Japanese, strong, just like chops. Machine gun chops he was doing.
There were some stiff strikes throughout.
Yeah, lots of things. And another thing I noticed throughout the whole show is they still haven't done anything. Every time someone gets thrown into the barricades, it just like slams into the fans, and they just like go flying.
I'm starting to wonder if that's like the splash zone where it says on your ticket, like, "Hey, just so you know, we don't secure these things."
Yeah, but I feel like why? There's got to be a way to just anchor them down. Someone's gonna get fucked up one day.
Yeah,
just looking out for Tony. That's all.
I'm thinking about Tony too. If there's a little or like somebody bends over to like pick up something from their
and then it just slams into their face.
That'd be terrible.
Yeah. They're busted wide open. Anyways, yeah, back in the ring, just heavy striking, all that. They go to the corner. Miro picks up Kingston for a German suplex, but at the same time, he grabs a turnbuckle pad. So that comes tearing off, and Miro locks him in the game over, but Eddie reaches the rope. He stands up, hits the big spinning back fist into his spike DDT. He goes for the cover, but that damn idiot Bryce Remsburg is busy picking up the turnbuckle pad and trying to fix it in the corner. And then he turns around and is like, oh, runs over, makes the count. But all this extra time allowed for Miro to kick out at 2. And the crowd was not happy. They were letting Bryce know that he fucked up big time.
This was one of the first times where I think I noticed that the official had some kind of in-ring responsibility that was outside the... Like, if the apron is kind of, off a little bit, they might adjust it. They never, readjust the stairs. They'll never do shit like that. It's like, I didn't know that was part of your job.
Yeah, he could have just kicked it away and be okay.
Best official is a shootie. Best official is a shootie.
I mean, Bryce, worst official, he's the one that famously fucked up that black arrow.
Famously.
I'll never forget it.
Well, never forget. I have the bumper sticker.
So he fucks up. Miro kicks out. So Eddie picks him up. And then he's ready to throw Miro into that exposed turnbuckle corner. But then Bryce just jumps in the way, stops him like, no, don't do it. So the crowd is all over him. And while he's hidden in the corner, Miro kicks Eddie in the balls so the ref can't see. And then just kicks him in the head. Supercharged high kick. And that gets him the pinfall victory.
The Machka kick. That's what I heard.
The Machka kick.
The Machka.
Yeah. Great match. Bryce Remsburg, their storyline now, he's the biggest heel ref in the company. I mean, I guess the only heel ref in the company, but they can play into this now. He can be like a little shit.
I know. I thought Aubrey was the heel ref. She let the Sammy Guevara Hardy match keep going. So I thought that was a big heel
No,
move.
she tried to stop it. It was
okay, right. This was just a hot beat 'em up.
Yeah, I liked the match. It was great. And it sets up the rematch for Eddie to win that title in New York because, he got kicked in the balls. It wasn't fair.
They're going New York. Was it September 22nd, I think?
I think they're doing two because I think they're doing the Garden and I think they're also doing the bigger arena, the Arthur Ashe or whatever.
Oh, okay, they're doing like a Rampage.
So I don't know which one they'll want to do.
Okay, but that's a huge moment. God, Eddie fucking Kingston, right?
Yeah. Either way, Eddie in New York, no better place to have him win. So
that'd be
I can see why they do.
Pop of the year, which is not a shootie, but it could be. It could be.
It could be. It's hard. It'd be very hard to gauge.
Pop of the year. I'm writing it down. Writing it down right now.
Okay. Up next, though, we had Jon Moxley taking on Satoshi Kojima, and you may have noticed Moxley came out wearing a GCW hoodie because over the past week he actually had a surprise appearance and defeated Matt Cardona for the GCW title.
Oh, no shit. Mox!
Yeah, and then at the end, Nick Gage came out and had a stare down with him, so it looks like Moxley and Nick Gage are going to have some sort of
Gage Mox? That's going to be nuts.
So Moxley, he loves that death match shit, so who knows.
Way to go, Moxley.
But anyways, this match was fun. The crowd liked both guys. Probably the first time a lot of people are seeing Kojima, but, I think they're still aware, like, oh yeah, this guy's cool. He's from Japan, and he was doing all those machine gun chops, and at some point Moxley gets his elbow cut open. I don't know how that happened, but bleeding pretty good.
Yeah. So then every single elbow strike that Moxley just gave like a little coating of blood on Kojima's neck. Violence.
And I love Excalibur. He just knows everything. He's like, oh, Moxley, he had a staph infection surgery there 2 years ago that took him out of All Out 2020 or whatever.
He did. He did.
Yeah, but he remembered it, and it might not have even been the same elbow, but Excalibur just knew to jump on that moment. He's like, oh, blood, yes, staph infection.
Yeah. Well, hey, best on commentary. That's a shootie. Folks.
That's definitely a shootie.
That's a
shootie. This whole show could be full of shootie award winners.
Well, you'll hear it come up, I'm sure, many times.
But anyways, Kojima's looking for that patented lariat of his. He goes for it, but Moxley counters into the paradigm shift, and then he picks him up, hits a second paradigm shift, and that gives him the 3 count. So, big win, but this is just the beginning for Moxley in the Forbidden Door, because as he's celebrating, this theme song starts to play, and out comes Minoru Suzuki. So he gets a good pop. A lot of people knew that they knew the song. I didn't know the song. They were singing along at parts.
There were people singing along.
I know him.
Like, who are these people? Yeah. They have New Japan online, apparently. They
do. So that was cool. That was a nice surprise for them. And they go face to face. The crowd chants, "Holy shit." They exchange blows. And then Suzuki gets the better of him with a gotch pile driver, leaving him laid out. So Moxley's just doing a tour. He's just fighting everyone from every country, anywhere he wants to go. Any promotion.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
It's a hot angle. It's a hot angle. I mean, it's Moxley, I think, doing anything. I think the crowd fans just want to see Moxley fighting around the world.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's been teasing a Tanahashi fight as well. Who knows?
Yeah. Jeez, that would be sweet.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But let us move on to the AEW Women's World Title match. We got Britt Baker defending against Chris Statlander. And, everyone loves Britt Baker, but the crowd very much appreciative of Statlander as well. So it's kind of into both people here. It's always fun when you love both women in the match.
Mm-hmm.
And, good back and forth. Statlander just deadlifting Britt off the top rope. She goes for that pendulum moonsault off the apron, but misses. Crashes hard to the floor. So, she's down and out, and the ref's counting. No. Before that, Baker jumps off the steps and hits a big curb stomp onto the floor. So, Statlander's out. She's down. The ref starts counting. Then Orange Cassidy's getting worried. And then he just yells, "Stat, get up!" Very rare emotional outburst from him.
The most emotional we've ever seen the man.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, it was great. Big pop.
Big pop for his emotions.
For his, yeah. Like, that's the most we've ever seen from him. So she gets in the ring. She tries to get that spider crab locked in, but Baker escapes, hits a bunch of stiff kicks. Then Baker climbs up to the second rope. She does the gun point and hits a Pittsburgh Sunrise.
The Pittsburgh Sunrise. I love the whole crowd's going just chanting Panama.
Yeah, that was
not
amazing.
The song. They're just chanting Panama.
Yeah, huge nod to Adam Cole, obviously. Crowd went wild. But Statlander kicks out. So Baker follows up with another curb stomp. She kicks out of that. So finally she applies the lockjaw. And after all this damage, Statlander finally fades out. Britt wins, retains the title. But excellent contest.
One hell of a match. Yeah, Britt Baker winning a match cleanly. I feel like she always has assistance from Rebel, and now that Jamie Hayter's there too. Yeah, she can win on her own. She fears no challengers, that kind of shit.
And Statlander, she's definitely still a future champion.
Her time will come.
Pretty...
Her time will come.
Yeah. She didn't get to hit that Big Bang Theory, so in a way it was like protected. She didn't kick out of it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Baker, I mean.
Yeah, and she was out for what? It felt like 6-8 months maybe. It felt like the big chunk of the demi.
Almost a year.
Big chunk of the demi, she was gone. Now she's back.
She's back. And let's head to the next match, because we got the Young Bucks taking on the Lucha Brothers in a steel cage for those AEW World Tag Titles. And I guess Lucha Brothers, they had this special live entrance performed. I didn't write the guy's name down, but
neither did I. So good for you for also not doing it.
To me, the funniest thing, did you watch the backup dancers that were just doing the Zero Miedo sign?
No, were they just doing that?
There was
constant,
a couple, and it looked so lazy. It was like up, down, up,
like
down,
were they kind of like
down.
squatting their knees a bit, like okay.
It was like Oompa Loompas do better dances. But it was funny. Crowd was having fun, and I think we all had high expectations for this cage, as high as the cage wall, and I'll just say right now, it lived up to them.
And it's a big cage. It's a big cage. We saw Cody break his toe.
It's a big cage, man.
Cody break his toe off that cage.
His freaking toe. He finished the match with a broken freaking toe, folks.
Freaking toe. It was the big toe.
But this was just a hot match. Just nonstop action. Everyone's flying around. We're throwing into the cage. We're climbing the cage. Phoenix is just jumping off everything he possibly can. Even Don Callis at points is like, okay, I got to admit that was pretty good.
Don Callis on commentary when he has nothing about his opponent to fall back on about like wrestling in Canada. He struggles a lot. He struggles way more when he doesn't have old school Canadian wrestling promotion references to make.
Yeah.
He really does.
I like it. So the Luchas, they were on fire, so the Bucks have to resort to kicking them in the balls. And then they get even more desperate and dirty as they start ripping away at the face masks. And then Brandon Cutler comes out. He's got this doctor's bag. He throws it over the cage. A perfect throw.
Toss. And the camera panned back. The camera did the zoom out. The Orange Cassidy or the best friends hug camera zoom. And
to show you the
know that Cody was back there thinking, like, fuck, he better hit it. He better hit it the first time. Or
I'm sure
else,
he practiced it. Like
I'm sure he practiced it
earlier.
Hundreds of times. But you're back there thinking like, oh, if he misses this, this is gonna have a whole different effect.
But it was a perfect toss.
Perfect toss. Landed bang in the middle of the ring.
Yeah. So Matt picks up the bag and he opens it up, and inside we've got a Nike loaded with the thumbtacks all over the bottom of the shoe.
The old loaded Jordans.
Loaded Jordans. The $5,000, which was probably not actually $5,000. Whatever. He goes to super kick Phoenix with the tack shoe, but Penta jumps in the way to protect his younger brother, who I didn't realize they were actually brothers until
you know what they kind of go in and out about whether or not they're brothers. They kind of
but they legitimately are. I looked it up.
They legitimately are.
Yeah.
Okay.
I finally had to learn. I guess they're just very kayfabe. They like to keep things private. When the mask is on, that's them, and when the mask's off, you don't need to know.
Maybe that's why Lucha Bros and Pac, they're perfect for each other.
Yeah. So anyways, Pentagon, he gets kicked in the head with that spike shoe, and they put him in the corner, slam his head against the boot. So at this point, he's just bleeding a bunch out of that mask, looking like a badass. And that blood mixed with the face paint and everything.
It looks so cool. Look at the way the blood was... Yeah,
it's like a fucking
white
hellspawn demon.
It looks so cool.
But then Phoenix ends up getting super kicked with that anyways, and they hit the BTE trigger on Penta. But luckily, Phoenix breaks up the count at the last second. Huge roar from the crowd. They start their comeback, so Phoenix nails Nick in the head with his own shoe. So at that point, Nick gets busted open. And then Penta and Matt, they both hit package pile drivers on the apron at the same time. Two of them fight up to the top rope. And then Penta hits a top rope destroyer. So not quite the top of the cage.
That's still pretty damn tall.
Yeah.
A destroyer off anything is pretty damn cool. Shooty, move of the year. The maneuver of the year, or the spot of the year, rather.
I think we have spot of the year.
That's more spot of the year. Shooty, it's coming up.
Yeah, we have that. Yeah. Could mark it down.
Mark it down, folks.
Then we just get this big super kick party where everyone's like, bounce up, kick, bounce up.
I love a super kick party where it's kind of like, they stand opposite each other and just everybody kick and be kicked by kick to the right, be kicked on the left, kick to the right. Oh, God.
Yeah, it was fun. But then the Lucha Bros are like, all right, let's finish this. Penta points to the top of the cage, and then Phoenix scales up so they can hit the biggest fear factor. With Phoenix doing the stomp off there. But then the Bucks, they hit Penta. Nick climbs up to the top of the cage towards Phoenix. And for a second, I thought, holy shit, they're actually going to do it.
Oh, my God. I was going nuts at this point.
But then Phoenix kicks Nick in the head, so he falls back down. And then Phoenix just dives off. Massive crossbody off the top, taking out everyone. Still an awesome jump. Awesome bump.
Oh,
awesome
still, everything. Yeah. I mean, that was still pretty good, but I also thought for a second, I'm like, no way.
For a second, I was like, no
way. No, they can't do this. This isn't safe.
But then they finally finish the job. They hit Nick with the double package pile driver, and that gets them the 3 count. The new tag team champions. Crowd is going wild, and that was a goddamn amazing match. Another shooty.
Shooties, folks. Match of the year, folks. That's a shooty. That's a shooty. That is, yeah.
This is like the year. It's like the year Silence of the Lambs came out and won 5 Oscars or whatever.
Yeah. No, that's going to be what it is. It was a real Return of the Kings element to it. Just
this pay-per-view might sweep the shooties.
Pay-per-view of the year. Is it not? It's not. It could be a new. It could be a new one. It could be a new one.
So yes, new champions. Penta soaked in blood as he's having an emotional celebration. His family's there. He gets his daughters. He's hugging them.
Oh yeah. That was great. He's like trying to wave him over, and you could see somebody
he's like, come here.
And someone on the
security's probably like, get back.
No, someone on the crew was, I think, trying to like kind of rush the show. Let's get him going. It seemed like they were kind of being ushered up the front of the stage. But then, the camera just pans to like this little girl who's just like crying and so proud of her dad. And you're like, and then everyone's going nuts for that.
Yeah, it was an awesome moment. Amazing match. Can't complain about anything.
Of course. These two groups are 2 for 2 in terms of what they've done at All Out. Shooty folks. The Escalada de la Muerte from All Out in 2019. That was
they've had arguably the best ever tag team ladder match and tag team cage match.
And god damn it, I bet.
Could be the best of any. Even single, whatever you want.
You could even say that. And it's I can't picture. That's my match. I gotta call it. I gotta call that right now. I've written a lot of matches down. I've been looking over the list. And
you can call it, but there's still
3 months to go. But at this point,
there's another AEW pay-per-view.
Jesus Christ.
But that one's definitely marked down. But let's move on here to the Women's Casino Battle Royal, which got a nice bump to the main show. Which I think worked out for the best.
Very much so. Yeah, let's put all the fucking dudes on the pre-show, and let's get this match actually had an implication. Let's have that.
Yeah, exactly. And even early on, there was a girl named Sky Blue, but she was a Chicago native, so she had a nice little reaction there. And Hikaru Shida, all the big names were in there. A couple of them didn't last too long, though, and the crowd would kind of boo when someone they liked was eliminated early.
Yeah, I think Riho got eliminated accidentally. It felt like a slip. It felt like a bit of a botch, because she was there for what felt like 35 seconds.
Yeah, she was one of the ones that, when she came out, got a big reaction, and then she was gone, and everyone booed.
Yeah.
Then, of course, Nyla Rose was the big beast of the match, staying in there for a long time. And Ty Conti had a nice showing. But, of course, the big moment we're all waiting for, the countdown to the Joker. And as we start getting down, the crowd's all ready. They're chanting Ruby Soho. And they get exactly what they wanted as Ruby comes out to a great reaction. You can see it on her face how happy she is, how much it means to her. The people wanted her. They care about her.
And I don't think she ever had. She's never had a reaction like that. I don't think ever. And she's had. Had like Raw Women's Championship matches on pay-per-views, and she's never had a reaction like that.
Yeah, it was awesome. Awesome that the crowd was into it, and she was so happy. And so she gets in there. She starts swinging. She's doing good. We get down to the final 3: Ruby, Soho, Thunder Rosa.
Easy there, JR. It's gonna be tough. I get it.
He did say Ruby Riott about 5 times.
Oh yeah. Said Ruby Rose one time also.
I saw the post pay-per-view conference with Tony Khan, and even he said Ruby Riott. So
oh really?
It happens. It'll take some getting used to.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Moxley to Ambrose. That's a big change. That's a big change. You've changed your initials. You changed the phonetics.
Yeah, that one's easier to adjust. But anyways, final 3, Thunder Rosa, Ruby, and Nyla. Nyla runs it, Rosa. She ducks, so Nyla flips over the ropes, lands on her feet. So down to final 2. 2 of the best picks of the match. They just have these big chop exchanges, fight their way on onto the apron. And eventually Ruby hits the Riot Kick, and Thunder falls to the floor. Ruby gets the huge win, earning a title shot.
Earning a title shot in a great match. Yeah, I guess it was Ruby or I thought it was going to be both the Iconics because every deck of card has two Jokers. I've never had a deck of card with just one Joker. Because you see,
well, then we also need the rules for poker card as well. Then
Jesus Christ.
They always include one of those. Don't they?
It's called the. It's called the. I don't. Jesus Christ! I don't know.
Shows all the hands. You know the card.
Yeah, this was.
Anyway.
This was a lot of fun to see. Star of the women's division, who the crowd is behind, and I think is a good wrestler, and freshen it up.
It's a big name, Ruby. Mm-hmm. Or, I mean, one of the big free agents for the women.
Yeah.
And Thunder Rosa, we'll go back to that rematch with Britt someday. Maybe it's too early if they want to extend Britt's reign a long time.
There was a nice moment.
That's the big rematch.
The nice moment though from this one was after the match, where she's sitting on the ground, she's celebrating. Bryce Rensburg comes up to her to raise her hand, and she just smiles at him, and you can hear her say, "Hey, Bryce." Gives him a big hug. She was on cloud nine. They put it on their YouTube account though. Sarah Logan showed up. She was back. Sarah Logan was backstage with her and the Viking baby. I guess
did she come out or she was just backstage?
She was just backstage there to support Ruby and everything.
That's cool.
Doing her
That's
stuff.
Cool.
Where are you, Liv? We're waiting on you. We're waiting on you, Liv.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, great showing for Ruby.
Yeah, and the buy-in should be on the main card like every time. I don't know what you're thinking putting it on a fucking pre-show. Because this on the pre-show would have been not as fun, right?
Yeah, you want this big Ruby moment? Definitely keep it on the main card.
Exactly.
And the Battle Royal, who doesn't love a good old
Take
Battle
that,
Royal?
Cody.
They're
Put
fun.
it on the main card. Piece of shit.
Well, speaking of piece of shit, up next we've got MJF taking on Chris Jericho, with Chris Jericho's career on the line here. And to start off, we got a great throwback as on the video screen. We got the countdown, just like the old Y2J era. And as it gets down to 0, the pyro goes off, and the screen says, Jericho's last match. As MJF music comes out, the crowd boos. Big heat.
Big heat.
But then we got Jericho's actual entrance, and they decided to go with Fozzie's guitarist to just kind of play live version of Judas, just all on his own.
This felt weird, though, right? Like, this didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't.
Good.
I mean, I don't think that it was fully in sync. Like, the crowd tried to sing along, like a couple parts, but I don't think they fully were in sync, or it was hard to know.
Yeah, there's gonna be a delay or something. Like, you think...
It's not as simple as like the Nakamura, which is oh,
right.
This is like have actual words that you have to sing along with.
I think the only way better would be to have the whole band and have Jericho sing himself down to the ring. I mean, that's what he pitched. He's like, what if Jericho, I sing my own song before my match?
But then they saw a video of him singing live, and they had to veto.
Yeah, they're like, nah, it's not a good idea.
But yeah, even Jericho, he kind of had a look on his face. He wasn't smiling as much as he normally does. He was kind of like, ugh.
He knew it
wasn't going as well as he hoped.
It was falling flat.
Yeah. Anyways, the match. Let's get on to the match because everyone's still happy for it. And yeah, I mean, we've seen it from them a lot, but the wrestling's good. It's always going to be good. MJF's the best natural heel of the business. So at one point, they fight into the crowd, and Jericho picks up this stanchion. And he just like drops it on MJF.
Real hard. And I don't know if you ever picked up
that thing looked heavy. It looked like it was real.
Stanchion. Like it's weighted.
They're heavy.
It's weighted at the bottom so it doesn't tip. And
he like just like dropped it on him and it like went boom.
Yeah,
so,
Jesus
I don't know if
Christ.
that would look crazy. But no DQ on that either.
Well, hey.
Aubrey.
Yeah,
let the boys play.
I mean, I think the biggest, the biggest work that in the business right now is that all the AEW refs are good. No, they've been rigging the matches since day one.
Yeah, except for Bryce Rensburg. He's a fucker. But anyways, yeah, MJF just spends the match working over Jericho's arm for that salt of the earth. But then Jericho works over MJ's back. So, then there was a great bump when MJF hits the heat seeker. But this time he does it on the opposite side, so to the outside of the apron. And Jericho just spikes his head down. Almost stays down, but gets up at the count of 9 to beat the count out. And then MJF pulls up a very rare high-flying maneuver with a picture-perfect acai moonsault. But Jericho avoided that and then just powerbombs him into the apron. But MJF, he's got the moves in there, but he's a heel, so he doesn't need to pull them out very often. But he can do anything.
But he can do anything he wants. Yeah, there was that MJF Jungle Boy match from I think Double or Nothing 2 years ago, where he was keeping up with Jungle Boy shit.
Yeah, it was awesome. They fight to the top rope, and Jericho goes for a Hurricane Rana, but then MJF blocks it. Big power bomb. Jericho hits the code breaker for a 2 count, and then that's when Wardlow comes out. But then Jake Hager comes out to intercept him, so they brawl, and this distraction allows MJF to grab the baseball bat. He nails Jericho in the head with it, and then hits the Judas effect, makes the pin, and Aubrey counts 1, 2, 3. But Jericho slinked his foot over to the rope at the last second, but she didn't see it, so they ring the bell. They announce the MJF's the winner. Jericho's career's over until a senior official, I forget his name.
Yeah, he's the guy from, he was on Raw. He's been on Raw.
Yeah, he's a senior official. I'll just call him senior official. Comes out.
Senor.
He lets Aubrey know. Yeah, he's like, hey, the foot was on the rope. I saw everything. He was like the first base umpire, and when they check with him, like, did he check the swing?
Yeah.
Safe. You know what? They should keep a ref at ringside all the time for this. So Aubrey can just point at him.
Honestly,
just point, and then he makes the decision.
This has changed the game in terms of officiating and professional wrestling officiating.
Yeah. So, anyways, after all this, he tells Aubrey, and they're like, okay, they announced the match will continue. So right off the bat, MJF gets Chris in the salt of the earth. Jericho's in trouble, but he manages to counter into the walls of Jericho. For a split second, he tries to turn into the Lion Tamer, but I think he couldn't. So he's like, oh, whatever. Keeps it in the walls. And MJF submits. Jericho's career is not over.
But you can still get your Fozzy tickets live. He's coming to a town near you. He's coming to a town.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the feud's probably over.
Hopefully, yeah. They've had better matches with some fun. There was some fun crowd manipulating spots. I would have, and the intro. I thought that was good. That was good. The heel swerve thing.
Yeah. Most of the match, wasn't anything too crazy.
No, I think for me, I would have. I wish they didn't do that whole ref in the middle thing. Because first of all, by the way, that means that every single match, literally ever, has probably been a different result. If we're erasing shit like that, because it's like when they need to go to Toronto and get the official callback, right? Like putting a pause in the match like that, it felt a bit weird. Yeah,
a little weird, but overall. It was okay.
Yeah, and I feel like if they would have stopped it there where Aubrey was like, nope, MJF won, but then we all know that Jericho's foot was on the rope, I feel like that's a way better way to write him off TV. Or maybe he's not, and he's going to, do Fozzy and professional wrestling. I don't know. Yeah, Jericho, what are you doing? Tweet us. Tweet to us.
Let us know. Send AC Dirt a text.
Send him a text.
But we are in Chicago, so it's time for one of the most hyped matches of the night, of the year.
Of the decade.
Of many years for some people. Yeah, possibly, because this is the big return of CM Punk to take on the young star Darby Allin. So obviously, super hyped up crowd, super loud, tons of CM Punk chants the whole time. And the first thing most people probably noticed is Punk comes out wearing full tights.
Pants! I would even to call them.
Yeah, full pants as opposed to the traditional trunks. Bit of a different look. Doesn't really matter too much, but...
Isn't it weird how it's doesn't matter, but we all noticed it immediately.
Yeah.
We all noticed it immediately. It's no, it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does it matter? I don't know.
Darby also, he had a bit more paint going on than usual. He had it all over his body, but it rubbed off real quick.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool...
That body paint?
Yeah, the whole paint.
Yeah, it's fine. But anyways, the crowd just super hot, just chanting. I mean, Darby, though, he had some support, too. There was some Let's Go Darby to rival the CM Punk chants. And it was a more traditional style wrestling match early on. Lots of holds, lots of grappling, but the pace picks up as it goes. And Darby does his coffin splashes, some near falls. Punk picks him up, hits the GTS, but then Darby falls backwards through the ropes, so he can't negotiate the cover. Darby has his comeback, and he's got Punk lined up for the coffin drop, and he mocks him with the go to sleep signal. So the crowd boos him, and he jumps back, but Punk sits up at the last minute, the last second, to perfectly avoid the move. Great timing there. And then they tussle a bit more. Darby goes for a poison Rana, but then Punk blocks that, hits another GTS, this time in the middle of the ring. So that gets him the 3 count, big hometown win.
Like it was going to end any other way.
Yeah. Big hometown win. He celebrates. Sting comes over, shakes his hand. They help up Darby. He shakes Punk's hand. So just good sportsmanship.
Everyone's just
happy.
shaking hands and high-fiving. Oh,
yeah, everyone's happy.
Everyone's happy. The when Darby fell through the bottom rope there after the go to sleep. Ooh, that was
cool.
That was a great spot. Fun match, and Darby Allin's just an absolute star.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I think
I'm sure there's a reason. I'm sure Punk handpicked him as his first.
Yeah,
opponent.
Excalibur kept throwing out, or he kept saying something to the effect of like how old Darby was when CM Punk like stopped wrestling or something like that. Just like that kind of thing. Can't wait to see who's CM Punk's next opponent will be. Hopefully, like an actual heel, right? Not like a babyface that he just wants to work with.
Yeah, maybe someone like a Ricky Starks or something.
Ricky Starks.
But then we have to deal with Taz.
I know. Then we got to deal and Hook.
Maybe not Ricky Starks.
Not Ricky
maybe
MJF.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a big money match. Maybe that's your Full Gear match.
Ooh.
I don't know. Either way, Punk. I'm sure we'll see him wrestle on weekly television now that he's officially back.
Yeah, hopefully. Let's see. Nothing. I don't think he's scheduled for Dynamite this week, but you never know. Maybe he shows up on Dark.
Never know.
Shows up on Dark for all we know.
Yes. Maybe. I doubt.
You never know. You never know.
You never. Actually, I think he did.
It's professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, you never know. Never say never. You have told me to never say never.
That's true.
Yeah, your words. And I was saying never. And you're like, Cameron, never.
Well, let's get to the buffer match. Because
So as soon as when you're watching a pay-per-view and you're counting down kind of the matches left in your head and you're kind of like, okay, that means we have this, and you're kind of booking the rest of it. This was the point where I was like, oh yeah, that's why this match is on the card. Because
give the crowd a little bit of a come down between the two big main events.
We need something. Paul White, QT Marshall. Does it matter? It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, exactly.
White,
just a filler.
Paul White gets the win. He's 49 years old.
They kept it short.
Super
3
cool.
minutes. Bunch of slaps to the chest. That was about it. Choke slam.
Yeah, that's fine with me. No more BS. It's time for the main. It's time for the main event. For that illustrious. It's not going to be CM Punk. We thought CM Punk was going to main event. I think we did.
Yeah, but this is just as. Yeah, it was going to be one of those.
It was
going
to be one of these two. We have Kenny Omega defending his AEW championship against Christian Cage, the man who beat him who defeated him 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, the only man to pin him in 2 years.
Wow,
Christian Cage.
Kenny Omega, PWI, #1. Way to go.
Yeah, just voted. Way
to go.
#1 in the world, folks. Top 500.
Good old Canadian kid.
So. Both of these guys.
Oh God, just Canadian main event. Any other Canadians here?
I'm sure
Chris Jericho. The bunny. Oh, we had all over the place.
So here we go. Good match going on here. Early on, we get Kenny. He lays a table upside down over top of Christian, then just hits a big running stomp, breaking it over him. And then after that, we got a very rare sight, a botch from Kenny, as he tried to jump on the barricade, and then he slipped and hit his bum. And he kind of made a face like, oh, and the people in the crowd were like, oh, and he was like, ah. But then right away, he just jumps up, turns around, hits the moonsault. So he was fine.
He's fine. This is number one,
Yeah.
PWI. Shooty, male wrestler
It's
of the
fun
year.
to see that even, he's human. We're all human.
I mean, sometimes it doesn't appear as though he's human, but he is.
No. But this was a fun little bum slip. It's okay. Then they fight out onto the apron where there's another table set up on the floor. But Christian ends up spearing Kenny off the apron, breaks through the table. That gets him a near fall. But I think the table got a good chunk of Christian. His rib was cut open or something. Or his side was cut. I don't know.
Ooh.
Something happened. Then Kenny starts to get vicious on Christian. Just a bunch of snap dragon suplexes, stiff V triggers, busting open Christian's mouth at one point. But Christian fights back. He gets that Texas cloverleaf locked in. So Don Callis calls out the Good Brothers. Those bastards come running out. They attack while the ref's distracted. Kenny goes for the V trigger, but then Christian counters, hits the kill switch, covers Kenny, but he just kicks out at 2. Big near fall.
Big near fall there.
Yeah, that was a close one. So we're getting to the nitty gritty here. They fight their way to the turnbuckle. That damn Don Callis jumps in the ring for another distraction. So Christian tosses him out, goes back to the corner, climbs up, looking to hit a super kill switch. But then Kenny gouges his eyes, picks him up on the shoulders, hits. When he picks him up, the whole crowd stood up on their feet in anticipation of this move. And he hits the avalanche, one-winged angel. And that gets him the win. Retains his title.
Was he from the top rope there? Was that from the second rope? I think I was from the second rope. Damn.
Second
God
rope, but
damn
still.
it. He's already probably, 6'2", 6'3". That's already 3 feet. Oh, my God. You're falling. Yeah, Christian's fallen 10 feet.
It's a good, yeah.
Baby.
So that was a great...
How old's this guy?
40s.
Jesus.
But yeah, great finishing move. Pretty good match overall. Hard fought.
Yeah.
But we're not done. We're not done by a long shot. Because after the win, the Elite come down. They're all beating up Christian some more. So Jurassic Express come. They try to help, but they're still outnumbered. Everyone's getting beat up. Kenny gets on the microphone to just rub it all in, brag about being the champ. Says there's nobody left that can beat me. They're either not here, already tired, or they're dead.
Already dead.
And just as he said that, the lights shut off. And
the crowd starts chanting yes. The crowd starts chanting yes.
Yeah, the crowd's chanting yes. I mean, we know the rumors. But then on the screen pops up Adam Cole, baby. And holy shit, the crowd is going nuts. Everyone's screaming. We all know how to do it. He gets in the ring. He points his fingers. He says Adam Cole, baby. The whole arena says it with him.
One of the loudest Adam Cole babies ever.
Yeah, it was amazing. So he gets face to face with Kenny. They square off, but then he turns and super kicks Jungle Boy.
Ah!
The swerve. He swerved us all. He goes over, hugs the Elite. The group, the strongest group in the company, just got even stronger as the Young Bucks kiss him on the cheeks. And then Kenny quotes Steve Urkel and goes, "Did I do that?
Did I do that?"
And Adam Cole just gets on the mic, says, "No way in hell anyone can stop us." Kenny says goodbye and good night when all of a sudden the Flight of the Valkyries comes on. And holy shit, we all know what that means. Bryan Danielson, he comes out to another monstrous ovation.
Thunderous.
Yes, chance. Thunderous. Hurricane was going off in this building. So yeah, yes chants everywhere. The song then changes into like this new rap beat. I couldn't get out all the words, but something about kicking your head in. So yeah, and Bryan with a slightly new look there. He's got the man bun or the.
He's kind of like skinny Brock Lesnar right now.
Yeah, exactly. So he gets in the ring. He helps up Jungle Boy. Then we just get a big brawl. Bryan unleashes those kicks. The crowd's just chanting yes with every kick. And they all build up the oh as he hits the final running knee to Nick Jackson. Bryan Danielson and the babyfaces, they hug. They stand tall to end the show on just what an insane ending. The game has changed. Is what has happened.
What an ending to what an entire pay-per-view.
Yeah, the best AEW pay-per-view of all time.
Of all
and
time.
one of the best pay-per-views ever.
At least one of the best pay-per-views of the year. At least one of the best pay-per-views since AEW's been around. God, I don't know how to.
Yeah,
I don't know how.
It's just one of the best pay-per-views in general.
Sometimes it happens to all of us, right? And Mike, this happens all the time. You watch professional wrestling, something happens, and then you audibly make a near fall, a maneuver, and then you audibly make a sound, and maybe for me it's like I clap. It has to be like a. Like it's kind of like all one motion. Maybe you stand up. Maybe you propel yourself up into the sky when something incredible happens.
I clap and I laugh. I go, ha!
It's a clap laugh.
Like a happy laugh.
Exactly.
Like, ha! I gotcha. You got me. Ha!
It can be any of these things. And as soon as that sign, or as soon as the Jumbotron comes on with Adam Cole, baby, that was that moment. That was that moment.
Yeah. This man was in NXT 2 weeks ago.
And also,
this is the shortest turnaround we've had.
He came out to was also like a pretty good song.
Yeah, it wasn't quite the Undisputed Era, but it was something
well
that sounds
with
like
just like the way it was all surprising. It was like da 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 da,
and it sounded kind of similar too. It was like
yeah, I know it came out, but yeah, he's Adam Cole, baby, all elite. I did hear the shirt.
Woo!
The shirt sold out.
Yeah.
Why these guys are just selling a pro wrestling tees? I like to picture the pro wrestling tees as still like a small operation in someone's.
Well, I heard that. When the CM Punk design came out, they literally bought every single one of those, like that style of shirt in the country.
Wow.
Like with the little whatever they call it, the thing on the whatever.
Yeah,
they bought every shirt of that available.
The straight edge,
the stripes on the bottom and shit.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, so crazy. We got, I guess, overall 4 surprises on the night. You had Suzuki, Ruby, Bryan, and Cole. So 4 big wrestlers showing up.
Yeah. And CM Punk's first show back. But remember, CM Punk's not a draw. Remember that. It was recently been said that CM Punk is not a draw. So, he had nothing to do with it.
Well, and if that wasn't enough, I mean, now, as of this week, there's now all these hot rumors that Kevin Owens' contract is coming up very soon.
Kevin Owens! Let's go over Kevin Steen. Come on.
And also, Sami Zayn comes up in October.
Oh, my God. If he cut...
This could just be a...
Sami Zayn would return as El Generico, for sure.
Maybe. I don't know. There are some things that maybe he wouldn't. I don't know, but maybe he would. Though.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, yeah, that was an incredible show.
Anyways.
Cannot wait until Full Gear. And it's nice that we have a nice 2 months kind of before that show, like everything that can happen in between. The monthly pay-per-view schedule leads to you kind of anticipating things that are going to happen too soonly, because it's only kind of 3 or 4 weeks between events. Something happens, you're like, okay, that's what they're setting up for Extreme Rules, and then yay, it happens. But like 4 months down the line, Jesus Christ, I have no clue what the hell is going to go on. None of us do. And the amount of things that are going to happen in between
could go any which way.
It could go any which way. So how long until the first week that Dynamite does better than Raw or SmackDown? I don't know. Give me and it could be like 6 months from now. But has this moved the needle?
Yeah, it'll move the needle. I don't think it's quite far enough yet.
Not quite far enough yet.
Raw, it'll beat Raw before it beats SmackDown, just because Raw has less and it's
it's been objectively worse.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They still have
3-4 months.
I don't know. They need to. They're like 2/3 of the way there, so they need like a 33% increase, I guess, or something like that.
I don't know. That's 33%. That's
a big jump,
that's
but
what
hey,
I like to call the Adam Cole effect. Mike, should we take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
We're gonna take a break.
That was just too hot.
That was too hot to handle. We're gonna come back with all of the WWE. They still exist, and Vince McMahon runs the show. We all know how it goes, and we're gonna come back and we've got all that action. So stick around.
Let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah.
Back here with the second half, folks. Shoot Brothers. I mean, we could have ended it right there. God. Could have ended it right there.
Coulda. I forgot. Did we have a tweet of the week?
God, it's so funny that you mentioned that, Mike. Let's kick off the second half of the show with crowning a brand new...
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
with crowning a brand new Tweet of the Week champion. It's the Tweet of the Week. It's the Tweet of the Week. No, that's okay. I was going to get into it, and you just segued into the segment. That's perfect. This week's Tweet of the Week champion. God, I didn't actually check to see if they've won it before. I'm going to say they probably have. Oh, baby. Yeah, they have. Our brand new Tweet of the Week champion is now 7-time Tweet of the Week champion, CM Punk, the chick magnet himself. Who found an old tweet of his own, actually resurfaced, from what would have been March 12th of 2013, where he tweeted out, "This poop just ain't fun anymore." Followed that up, so we kind of quoted that tweet, and then in writing a new one, wrote, "This shit is fun again. # all out. # AEW." CM Punk coming for that, not only is he coming for probably the AEW championship, things like that, he's coming for that all-time Tweet of the Week record now.
He called the shit poop.
He called shit poop. And just like that, he's only one away from the Rand Man.
Only one away. Wow.
Exactly. Quite the boots to fill. CM Punk, you're the wrestler of the week. We'll be talking about you on the next episode of the Shoot Brothers because there is no more AEW action to talk about. This is episode 147. We're making our way to episode 150, and let's get there. Let's jump right into this week's SmackDown. Okay, folks, it's Friday night. It's time for Smackdown Live. It used to be on Tuesday, but then I think it was on Friday before, though. No, wait, they used to film it on a Thursday and then release it. It's just Smackdown Live.
Yeah, jump right in with the Usos taking on Street Profits in one of those championship contender matches. So,
right.
You win, you get the shot.
Makes sense.
You know how it goes.
We know how these things go, folks.
Yeah, so, solid tag match here. Ford, he put a new spin on his From the Heavens Frog Splash. Literally, as he rotated mid-air, 180 degrees while doing the splash.
Ah, it was a cool one.
This man.
This guy.
He's just like a human fucking drone copter. He can just fly.
Yeah, it's like a little catapult. He's a catapult. He just kind of...
But anyways, Jay breaks up the pin, and then he just starts attacking Ford relentlessly. And he's not the legal man, does not listen to the ref, so he's got no choice but to disqualify him. So, yeah, they just continue the beat down. And Ford just dives on the floor.
So I guess the DQ...
Maybe they earn a title shot?
I don't know. I mean, I certainly feel like...
It wasn't too clear.
If there was a disqualification, it certainly doesn't feel like you've deserved it in any way. Because although you're on the winning side of the tally, I don't know, it doesn't feel like a win.
Yeah. Flat finish. Hopefully they can have a better match on I guess at Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules, right? We know it's coming.
Like we said.
Is there
the 3-week booking?
Exactly, the 3-week booking. Is there even anything I should know about that card? Is it half booked already? And when is it? Yet. September 26th. Oh God, yeah, it's half booked already.
So we got
we got Becky Bianca. Okay, we got Becky Bianca. We got Priest, Sheamus, Lashley, Randman, and Charlotte, Alexa. So it's half booked. Okay.
Well, in the meantime, we got the women's champion, Becky Lynch, coming out. Still getting a big ovation. Lots of chants of Becky. But, she's putting in some heel things. She comes out. She says, what? No, you deserve a chance, but okay. So then the crowd starts putting up for her anyways. So, a little funny. She's like, that's what I'm talking about. So, yeah. Being heelish, but still having fun. She talks about Bianca, says, my return saved your match at SummerSlam. When Sasha went down last minute, the higher powers called the biggest name they could. They called for the man. I was preparing to win back the title since I was leaving, and you weren't ready. So that's on you. You don't get to cry that I beat you too fast because you weren't ready and I was. Which, I mean, hey, it's a fair point.
Fair point.
She didn't cheat. We're just unhappy with the way she did business.
I mean,
but at the end of the day, that's what they want. They want her to be heel for whatever reason. So Bianca comes out. Big reaction. Lots of EST chants. Glad to see she's still super over. The loss didn't hurt her at all. But she admits to Becky the loss did embarrass her. And, she... But what she won't do is build herself up by bringing another woman down. And she'll never make excuses. So she vows to win back that title. And since she already earned the number one contender spot, she tells Becky, defend it tonight. The crowd chants yes. Becky says no. And she walks off.
Yeah, the heel tease. Is it happening? I think it has to happen.
It seems like it's happening. I think half the crowd will still cheer Becky, but majority will cheer Bianca because she's doing really good.
Well, yeah, and as long as, heel Becky, as long as we don't get the doing heel shit Becky, because she's too good of a wrestler. It's sort of like that Britt Baker thing. Like, she gets the win without any help, and you're like, yeah.
You can be a bully and talk shit, but be a good wrestler.
Exactly, yeah. It's not, like you're, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we wanted the proper match. We'll get it Extreme Rules. So we'll see where they can go with this.
Yeah.
And I mean, Sasha Banks is still lurking somewhere. She didn't get her proper shot, so she's going to want it.
Yeah, what happened to Sasha?
Well,
She's still around? She still work here?
I mean, it's a mystery. I don't know if we've ever got the full story. AC Dirt's looking.
I don't think we ever did.
We go backstage where Dolph Ziggler stops to talk with Toni Storm, who we saw debut like 2 months ago, and she haven't seen once since. So Dolph's trying to sweet talk her, like, hey, how about I let you be in my corner tonight for my match? She's like, thanks, but actually I'm already rooting for Rick Boogs. So that's the match we get next. Ziggler versus Boogs, making his singles debut here, showing off that amateur wrestling background, going toe-to-toe with the collegiate champion Ziggler. So just two wrestlers doing their thing here.
Wow, two collegiate stars.
Yeah. But Boogs makes short work of Ziggler, hitting the pump handle slam to get the big win.
Corey Graves called it the Boogs Cruise.
The Boogs Cruise. There you go.
I definitely caught that. Definitely caught that.
Thank you. I need to. Yeah, I just need like a dictionary.
We need Excalibur's list.
Yeah, his list of everything, so you can just like a Rolodex. So you just pick it up.
If there was like
a glossary.
If there was like a. Like an OnlyFans or a Patreon, like a way that you can just a subscription service to Excalibur that you pay him X amount of dollars a month, and you can just kind of he'll give you the list of all the maneuvers. He'll tell you where everybody's from. He'll tell you everybody's background, just so I can kind of like compile
the Encyclopedia Excalibur.
Exactly. Yeah, he could do it. I mean, I'll help him out.
He could.
It would help me out a lot
sure he could.
too.
Well, after this, backstage, Sonya and Adam, they approach Becky to let her know that she will defend that title against Bianca at Extreme Rules.
Yeah. Defend it.
But
hopefully,
it's official.
Hopefully we see a big match out of Becky Lynch, not just a rock.
I mean, it is Extreme Rules,
bottom and then the win.
It's Extreme Rules, so there's going to be some stips in some of the matches. Who knows if they'll have it there? But someone's got to get extreme.
God damn it, someone.
Cesaro takes on Rollins, but we've already seen this a lot. I mean, still good. It's always good matches. Remember that Cesaro push? Those were good times.
Of course. What is it? It was like something like 37 swings. It was a prop bet.
Yeah. Anyway, Seth was stealing a bunch of Edge's moves, and eventually he just snaps, hits Cesaro with a chair, so a DQ. And then he breaks off a piece of the chair and does the crossface in Cesaro's mouth, just like Edge. So he sets up for a concerto. Edge runs out to make the save. Seth leaves through the crowd. So I guess they're having a rematch, which I don't know. They already had the match. I don't know why we need the rematch.
The concerto on a pole match? Come on, it's Extreme Rules, baby. We know what's coming.
I mean, yeah, they'll have to have a step to make it interesting because Edge already won. I guess they want to give Seth his win back, but make it interesting. Yeah, something.
Yeah,
chair on a chair match. Musical chairs.
A musical chairs match, pre-taped, baby. Let's get some pre-taped matches back. Oh God, I don't know. Yeah, I think next week though, they're at Madison Square Garden next week.
for SmackDown.
Yeah. So who knows?
That should be a big show.
I
then
feel like that would be a big show. Hell, maybe the rematch is happening.
Think...
Maybe the rematch is happening this week.
Maybe.
Huh?
Maybe they did. Maybe they announced it. I didn't catch
Fantastic. I'm just spitballing here.
Kevin Owens comes out for the KO show. Haven't seen that in a while. Not that I missed it or anything. Just a standard talk show.
It's the same set as Miz TV, just kind of with a new poster on top instead.
Yeah. And he wears a tie over his shirt.
Shirt.
Then he brings out his guest, Happy Corbin. But Corbin reveals he's got a guest of his own, Logan Paul, who comes out to mega heat. Next to MJF, he might be the second biggest heel in the business.
Honestly, I think you're actually right. I think you're actually right on that. I can't think of somebody who gets more boos right now.
I think,
than Logan Paul.
They got to be careful, but I think they could actually work him into a good angle because of just how much people hate him. But yeah, don't overdo it. But yeah, they exchange insult. Paul tries to offer Owens some cash. He just smacks it out of his hand. Logan shoves Kevin. They get ready to square off. And Corbin's just egging him on. But then he hits Owens in the head with a mic. Cheap shot. Lays him out. Then Corbin and Logan just leave laughing.
Yeah. The heat. I mean, I couldn't. There was parts of this promo where you couldn't even follow what was going on, just because the crowd was too into it.
Yeah, just booing. I mean, and he's like what, the third or fourth time he's been on WWE now. So
yeah, well, he was at Mania,
clearly...
and then I think this is the first time he talked. Maybe.
I thought he was on Miz TV once.
Yeah, or Moist TV. God, fuck out.
Or well, one of those stupid things.
Exactly. He was on the.
Yeah, I mean, either way, they seem to be in cahoots, WWE and them. So I mean, I feel like this is going to lead to a match of some sort.
Yeah, I wonder if this is bumping the ratings at all.
I mean, maybe that's the WrestleMania match. They always like to have a celebrity there.
Oh yeah, Bad Bunny, Logan Paul in a.
One or the other. Then we go to Dominic Mysterio taking on Sami Zayn. Rematch from last week. Dominic's in control. Sami goes to bail on the match, but Ray just comes out, blocks him from the ramp. So Dom runs in, hits a big tope, jumps over top of the ref, slams Sami down. But then Ray just starts coaching Dom, like, yeah, get him, you got it. And he's like, Dad, come on, I got this. Just leave. So, and this slight hesitation allows Sami... Oh, you like that reenactment?
I did.
So yeah, this father-son dilemma causes the hesitation, which allows Sami to come running in with the haluva kick and pick up another win. Sami with Zayn's on a roll.
2 straight, baby. I knew you were going to say it. I knew you were going to say that. And hell yeah. This guy hasn't won in years.
I mean, upcoming free agent. You want to try to make him feel good?
How upcoming is he? Like
October is what I've heard.
Like October, it's out.
Is what
it's
I've heard.
out, and then 90 days, or
no? I think October he's done.
Oh,
Contract's over.
Once full gear,
Adam Cole style.
Full gears in November. Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
These are just rumors.
One thing I loved about your reenactment of the Ray and Dominic Mysterio interaction is that it kind of it's the father trying to like be there for their son. It's like the embarrassed son. It's like Dominic's Dominic's embarrassed that his dad's trying to help him. Like wrestling.
Yeah.
Where it'd be like, he's fishing or something. He's like, yeah, just pull back the line. He's like, Dad, I got this.
Yeah.
You never let me be myself.
Backseat driver.
You never let me.
Backseat driver.
Yeah. It's gonna be exactly it. Which I'm excited for. I'm excited for a father. We haven't had a father-son dynamic since Vince and Shane's, and that's one of the most toxic father-son relationships.
Yeah.
Famously.
I mean, yeah, they're planting the seeds. It seems like this is going to happen. Father-son breakup.
Hopefully.
Dominic's got to be the heel. And then I hope he starts coming out like all punk and like wearing dark makeup.
Oh, I'd love that. Yeah,
and he's just rebelling.
Oh, I know. I can't wait for the promo where he says that he wishes that Eddie Guerrero was his dad. I cannot wait for that promo. It's coming. It's coming. By the way, it's coming. It is.
These are all we're booking the next 3 months of.
Book it. We're booking Survivor Series right now.
We go backstage where Naomi approaches Sonya and is like, hey, where's my match? Because we saw her last week, and Sonya's like, oh, Must have slipped my mind. Talk to me next week. And she just walks off on the phone. So
honestly,
once again,
Sonya, where did your mind go? There wasn't a single women's match on this entire card.
Yeah, you're just blowing off Naomi for no good reason.
Jesus Christ, Sonya.
Yeah, waste of talent. Waste of talent. Or maybe this is going to lead to a in-ring return of Sonya.
Ooh.
Maybe Naomi's like, fine, why don't you fight me? And then,
hopefully.
You know?
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Never know. But we do have a big match. This main event, Roman Reigns taking on Finn Balor for the Universal title. You would have thought maybe save this for Madison Square Garden.
But no, why not? Oh, yeah. I guess if they're going there next week, what could be bigger than this?
I don't know. But during Finn's entrance, he gets jumped by the Usos, and they just beat him all around the ringside, slam him into the steel steps, the barricade. Just a good beatdown until the Street Profits run out, chase him off. Then Roman makes his entrance while the officials are checking on Balor, but he still wants to compete. He's wounded, though, clutching at those injured ribs, but the match goes on. Big disadvantage. Just tries to do the old stick and move, chop away at Roman. Gets a nice flurry of offense, goes for the coup de grace, but Reigns rolls out of the way, hits a Superman punch, but Balor kicks out at 2. So Reigns goes for the spear, but then Finn kicks him in the head, just starts running wild. He hits the coup de grace, but Reigns kicks out at 2.9. Real close near fall.
2.95, I might even say.
Yeah. Reigns is one of the best at doing the blind kickouts. He keeps his eyes closed when he... You know, some guys have their eyes open, so you're like, they're gonna kick.
Well, you know, that's how they. You know, sometimes you gotta stop looking at the eyes. Sometimes
you gotta count on the ref. You gotta count on the ref and know 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, you gotta feel. You gotta.
He's not gonna Mike Tyson you. He's not gonna Mike Tyson you.
The old Mike Tyson. Pop, pop, pop.
Stone Cold's a big proponent of what I'm saying. He's like, God damn it, keep your damn eyes closed. You can tell on the ref.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, yes, big kick out, 2.95. But at the very same time that Reigns kicked out, he used his arms to hit Finn in the balls. So that gave him the opening, and he just starts viciously pounding away on Finn. Locks him in the guillotine, and Finn passes out. Reigns retains the title, but pretty great match.
In a pretty great match, they were kind of pumping up this whole show. Also, I guess he just passed the 1 year mark as the Universal Champion, and this was a great reminder as to why that is.
Yeah, and even with the loss, I mean, they had to give Finn the beatdown at the beginning. He still came close to winning, so he still looks pretty good in defeat. And there was a brief tease that I don't know, you may have missed it. It was so quick as Reigns walks off. Finn's recovering, and then for a quick second, the lights go red. We hear a heartbeat. So maybe a tease for the Demon Valor.
Extreme Rules is coming up. The horror show. It's the horse.
I think they dropped that.
Oh, we dropped that.
Yeah, remember? Yeah, there was like 3 months where every pay-per-view had a subtitle.
Yeah, it had a thing. Like the pay-per-view wasn't a thing enough for it to have. Yes, I did catch that too. God, it's been a while since we've seen the Demon. Couldn't tell you when. I could not tell you when the last time we saw him. There was also a moment in this somewhere in a backstage thing where Paul Heyman's cell phone rang and it was Brock Lesnar's theme song. I thought that was a good bit. Because then I started thinking to myself afterwards, like, was the flashing red is also like Brock Lesnar's kind of Videotron colors, is red and gold or something. I don't know if it was a Brock tease or a Demon Balor tease.
Yeah, I guess. It kind of leaves Roman with 2 opponents lined up. Mm-hmm. I feel like the Lesnar one might be a Saudi match because they love their.
And we're going to Saudi October, I think. October 22nd, I think.
Something like that. Yeah. Crown Jewel. Part 5, or whatever they're up to.
Oh, I bet I can book the whole card right now if you want me to.
We'll save it.
We got Bobby Goldberg.
There's a good. Yeah. No, let's just move on to that other show.
Oh shit! Yeah, we're crossing the brands, baby. You got 3 hours to kill on a Monday night. Check out some Monday Night Raw.
Let's get right.
Monday Night Raw. We start off with probably the best thing going on this show, RK Bro. Everyone's happy. They got new merch now. They got like this inflatable snake riding a scooter. Looks kind of cool.
Looks pretty cool.
Saw Riddle hand it to a kid and he went crazy. He was like, "Oh my god!" So there you go. It works. The kids
love them. The kids love them. We're all good.
Yeah. So, anyways, they cut a promo on Lashley and MVP, and Riddle starts rambling. The Hurt Business interrupt. Lashley challenges Randy to a one-on-one match. Orton says, "Okay, one condition for the title." And then I think we find out that'll happen at Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules, it's the horror show. The Rand Man, Randy Orton. One of our classic involve all the belts with the same people. We know what we're doing here. We do this all the time.
We know what we're doing. Well, why don't we throw down to a good old tag team turmoil to determine the number one contender for those very same tag titles RK Bro are holding.
RK Bro.
Yeah. So, turmoil, it's just a gauntlet match. So we start off with New Day and the Viking Raiders. Eventually Viking Raiders get hit. The roll-up. There you go. Add that to the counter. Xavier gets a roll-up.
Cha-ching.
1, 2, 3. Eliminates the Vikings. Then Jinder and Veer come out. So now Shanky's not even fighting anymore. Jinder's just taking over his spot. But nothing special. New Day hit the midnight hour, get the 3, so they're gone. Lucha House Party comes out next. This one was a bit more fun. Some high flying. Eventually Xavier reverses a wheelbarrow suplex into a big slam. Gets the pin off that. So we're just keep it going. New Day takes on Mason T-Bar next. So the fresh team comes out hot. T-Bar goes to nail Xavier with his finisher, but he reverses that into another roll-up, gets another 3 count. So Xavier is on a roll, but Mason T-Bar, the sore losers, just beat down the New Day after. And then Mansoor and Mustafa Ali come out. They try to help the New Day. They get beaten up. Ali takes a big bump off the ring post. Just a bunch of mayhem. Officials come out, get them away. Sonya Deville says we're going to let these two teams regroup and finish this match later tonight.
But looks good for the New Day right now. Kind of running the gauntlet.
Yeah, running the gauntlet. Get a little break, a little rest in between.
I've never. Have you ever seen this? I've never seen this ever.
Not in a gauntlet match, no.
I thought the whole point of a gauntlet match was to you have to go the distance, not go half and then take a break. But whatever. I'm not booking the show, so
it's happened.
Shit happens.
Yeah. In the meantime, Drew McIntyre takes on Sheamus. The winner gets to face Damian Priest for that U.S. title. And, of course, Drew and Sheamus, we've seen these two a lot this year. No strangers to each other. But, most of the time it's good. So, just a big man brawl fest. Some big suplexes off the top rope. Drew rips off Sheamus' mask, goes for the Claymore, but then Sheamus counters it, rolls him up, grabs the tights for the leverage, and gets a 3. So Drew's pissed. That's our third roll-up of the night.
That's our third roll-up of the night. I mean,
we would easily, we'd hit the 100, no problem. So Drew's pissed, slaps Sheamus in the face with his own mask, and hits him with a Claymore.
Yeah,
but, Drew's been eating a couple losses lately.
Yeah, like you said, just a lot of meat, a lot of beef in that ring. Mm-hmm. And I guess that might be a few losses straight, because there was the triple threat last week.
Yeah,
I guess he had those couple matches with Jinder.
Lost to Lashley a bunch before Jinder.
Yeah.
But, he's not as protected as he was. He went like a whole year without being pinned before.
Oh, my God. What a time that was.
Yeah. Anyways, we get Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley taking on Tamina and Natalya. Non-title match. It was okay, just back and forth. Crowd was into it, into the baby faces. Ripley hits the Riptide to get the win.
Yeah, I like Natalya's first match back in months. Or is this maybe the second match back? I don't know.
I think second, but either way, they just need to get the titles off them, give it to one of these better teams like Shotzi and Tegan.
And why do they do these things like having the non-title matches? Just like, what's the difference?
Yeah. especially these titles. Like, it's not a big deal. Just switch the titles. No one cares.
But yeah, it really does seem like where Nikki Ash is going to propel Rhea Ripley into babyfacedom.
Yeah. Then we get a segment of Moist TV.
Which, for those of you who don't know
John-
what it is, it's kind of like the KO show, but with different sets.
An inflatable pool
Yeah.
and some water guns.
Apparently.
And John Morrison, the host, brings out his guest, Karrion Kross. But this whole interview was in the back, not in front of the crowd. Because they probably knew the crowd would just give what chance to Kross.
Oh yeah. Oh, they'd boo the shit out of him.
Yeah. But it ends with Kross challenging Morrison to a fight, and we jump to the ring. So, Kross dominates him early on. Morrison grabs a drip stick, sprays him in the face, but this just pisses him off even more. And he throws Morrison flying over to the ring post, just over the ring post to the floor, big bump. And then he puts him in the Kross jacket, gets the win.
But he still came down in his dumb dominatrix look, right?
Yeah, that stupid thing.
Okay.
Yeah, the mask.
The stupid gimp
yeah.
mask? Okay.
Yeah, still that. Still no sign of Scarlet anywhere.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. As soon I didn't think about why they put that segment backstage, but that totally makes sense.
That's what my guess.
That totally makes sense. Because they boo the shit out of him.
They just shit all over him. Not the good kind of booing either.
Not an MJF boo either. A get off the stage boo, which is so much worse.
Yeah, exactly. Charlotte takes on Nia Jax in a women's title match. And, I said last week, after that match went off the rails, in an odd way, it kind of made me intrigued to see this rematch, to see if they can work together in the ring. And right as the bell starts, Shayna jumps on the mic. Yeah, Shayna Baszler jumps on the microphone and just starts doubting Nia, saying, will she choke? So, just not being a good partner. They need to just fucking break up. They're always teasing
We've been saying it for months. We've been saying it for months now.
Yeah, they always just, what the fuck? So, anyways, these two back in the ring, they're throwing hands. It seemed like they were trying to make it look like a worked shoot this time, like trying to make it look physical. And Charlotte gets pissed off and goes to the floor, does the suck it taunt. She grabs her title belt, but Shayna blocks her. Nia snatches her by the hair, brings her back in the ring, and Nia's on the second turnbuckle. Charlotte hits her with a bit of a powerbomb. And then she hits the big moonsault on the floor. Nia regains control, but then Shayna jumps on the apron, distracts her own partner again. Charlotte hits the natural selection, gets the win. So Shayna's like, what the fuck are you doing? Just figure it out. Whatever's going on with you two, figure it out. Cost your partner the title.
Yeah, just lose.
Charlotte wins.
Lose already.
Yeah. So Charlotte celebrates, and Alexa Bliss appears on the screen. They invite Charlotte to the playground. Flair says no. So Bliss says, okay, we'll bring the playground to you. Then the lights flicker. Bliss appears in the ring with Lily. And Bliss just points at the title. So she wants a title match. The crowd says yes. Charlotte says fine. But this isn't your playground, it's mine.
Extreme Rules, baby. Yeah, because
Playground match.
A playground match filled with like swings and seesaws.
Charlotte could do a moonsault off the swing.
Off a swing. See, you can picture what's going to happen here. Yeah, I still don't get how Alexa Bliss is the baby. Like, you put anyone in the ring against Charlotte, they're the baby face. But I still don't know why Alexa Bliss is supposed to be the baby, because she sells a fucking doll?
Yeah, the kids like the doll.
Like, we still never got the resolution of the her and Bray thing. As far as we're concerned, she fucked his opportunity.
She killed him.
It's kind of like...
she stole his identity and killed him.
I do not know. And I was thinking the same thing at Money in the Bank when it was the first pay-per-view back and everybody was cheering for her. Why are you cheering for her? It's the fucking doll, I guess.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Let's go to Reggie, take it on to Zawa, 24/7.
Let's not go.
Well, there's a big return that we have to
You
mention.
want to see? Okay, the big returns.
Well, and also an unfortunate downgrade, as Jeff Hardy was part of the gaggle that runs out at the end. Jeff Hardy, the legendary performer.
The
former world champion, WrestleMania star,
tag team performer. Yeah, that that was the biggest takeaway,
Yeah.
and feel
But-
bad for the guy.
Yeah. So, anyways, Reggie wins. The big return. Drake Maverick appears.
Yes.
back
Oh,
in
yeah,
NXT.
coming up from NXT, I guess. Well, Killian Dane, his partner, has been gone for many months, so let's move him up here and have him piss his pants again.
Yeah. I guess Vince was like, yeah, where's that guy that pisses pants? We gotta get him back.
Pisser.
Yeah, let's get back into this second half here of this tag team turmoil match. New Day taking on Mansoor and Ali. They have a good back and forth until Xavier hits his tightrope elbow drop to get the 3 count. So just continuing this roll New Day's on.
Was that five
But then
pins
they have-
straight? 6? 5.
5 pins, and I think Xavier got all of them, or at least most of them. So he's looking real good. And then AJ and Omos are the next opponents. Kofi and AJ have a good chunk together here until Omos comes in to help. AJ hits the Styles Clash, gets the pin. Which brings us down to our final 2. AJ and Omos taking on Bobby Lashley and MVP. 2 heel teams, which, kind of weird, but of course the crowd's going to chant for AJ over them.
Yeah.
Or actually, it was weird because they were actually chanting MVP at one point because they were in his hometown. But I don't know. This whole match, the crowd kind of flipped and started cheering for Lashley and MVP.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe. I didn't notice that. Where were they? Who knows?
I don't know. I think
Miami,
they said they were in MVP
Florida.
hometown. Yeah. So anyways, it comes down to Lashley, AJ. AJ misses the phenomenal forearm. Bobby hits a spear, gets the win, earning a title shot for him and MVP next week. Not the pay-per-view.
Not the pay-per-view, folks, but that could be our Madison Square Garden headliner. Maybe.
Could be.
I don't know if that's where we're going.
Yeah. Is it Raw or SmackDown or both that are out
Oh
there?
yeah, maybe they don't do the Dynamite. God, this is so I can't keep up anymore, Mike. I just can't.
Well, that was Raw.
You
Was it
don't
Raw?
have to follow that up with anything.
No, that was Raw.
That was Monday
Let's
Night
just move
Raw.
on.
Let's move on to the next show because it's the end of an era. It's the end of like we said before, the human skull with the bird wings, the black and gold, the X being slightly larger than the N and the T in the logo. We're talking NXT.
NXT, what does it mean? I don't know, but it's some good wrestling. So NXT, watch and see. Out a tap, out a count, out of 1, 2, 3. So
Yeah. Although
what?
I have heard reports, those reports of Vincent Pritchard. No, this is good. That Vincent Pritchard taking over, those reports are exaggerated. They're not gonna be running the day to day. They're just gonna be doing things like, hey, get a new logo, stuff like that, which they did. So,
Hey, get a new logo. You think that's gonna be Vince McMahon's entire input to the thing that he's
Not
spending
entire
millions of dollars
thing.
on? He's gonna, hey, Hunter, get a new logo.
I mean, he's not gonna be down there running the show like he does at Raw. It's gonna be Triple H.
Okay, so
on
Triple H is still
in
there,
Gorilla.
but
Vince
if,
is not sitting in Gorilla. I'll tell you that.
Okay, but whoever Vince wants to be the champion or get a push gets pushed, right?
He probably has some say.
Okay,
But
you think
I don't
Vince
know, it depends, 'cause on
McMahon
the-
would have some say in something?
Well, I mean, if he wants, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. But I feel like he still doesn't. To him, it's just a third brand that doesn't exist outside the main roster.
That lost to Dynamite. That's all it is. But let's get into it because it's the last pre-taped. I guess are we going back to a live audience in any capacity, or is this just going to be?
I don't know. They've been teasing. They show little teasers of this new studio that looks kind of bigger, like an amphitheater. The seating looks better.
Yeah, like a
so
Daly's
hopefully more fans.
like a Daly's Place style of thing.
Yeah,
I think
Daly's Place
that would
light.
suit an Adam Cole because not only are we moving on to this new era, like we're without Adam Cole now, so like this is different now. This is no longer the NXT that you grew up falling in love with. This is now
we're going new places.
This is now world
new strange places.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Oh, yeah. God.
We'll see.
We will
There's
see.
still some great talent here.
Very much so. Not saying that.
Still one of the best women's division in the world.
Amen, brother. And we actually kick off with a match from the women's division.
That's
when Ember Moon takes on Kaylee Ray, who we don't see much, right?
Yeah, she's fresh here from the
Fresh
UK.
here from the UK. She was the champion, lost it earlier on in the year, and then you get promoted. I like that WWE seems to be this tiered promotion thing where it's kind of like you kind of have mailroom, sales staff, and CEO. You start off if you put in your dues in the mailroom, learn everybody's name, impress the boss. You could get promoted to the sales staff. You have a cubicle on the floor.
Yeah.
No. And
yeah.
Oh, that's all I got. Of course, with this is NXT would be the cubicle on the floor level. But anyways, they have a match, and fuck. So I've never seen Kay Lee Ray before, and I gotta say she is fantastic.
Yeah, she's really good. Doing lots of submissions, working over the arm. They got a good amount of time here, like a nice 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Felt like it.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw what I saw, but I swear at one point Ember Moon hits a move that was pretty much the one-winged angel. Except for she didn't start with her on the shoulders. She lifted her right up into the position, but still had the one leg, the one arm. It was a one-winged angel.
Okay, I did not catch that, but maybe I can go back and check the tapes.
Yeah, it was cool. But Kay Lee kicks out of that, and she hits her gory bomb to get the win in a pretty good match.
They called it a KLR bomb.
There you go, KLR bomb.
I was catching them this week, actually.
You really were.
I sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, this was it's a great match. And Leia, like you said, 15 minutes. I mean, and after coming off a show like Smackdown, where we had not a single second devoted to women's wrestling, it's nice to see 15 minutes just fucking right off the bat,
Yeah, and we'd get 2 more women's matches to come, but in the meantime, this was a night of women's because we've got a bachelorette party going on for Indy Hartwell, the bride-to-be. She's at a restaurant with friends, family. Candace gives a speech, and, she comes around. She realizes that Dexter really loves Indy, and that's all she can ask for. So here's to Indy and Dexter. And then they have a nice hug.
Aww.
Isn't that nice?
Didn't we have a bachelor party? Didn't Miro and Kip Sabian, did they have a bachelor party?
I think so.
Or did we just get a wedding?
With video games and arcade and stuff.
It was something like that. No.
But we got Carmelo Hayes taking on Santos Escobar. Escobar just dominates most of the match. Puts him in like a lion tamer on the stairs. Hayes fights back, but then Legado distracts the ref. Electra Lopez slams Carmelo on the ground. Santos hits the Phantom Driver to get the win.
Who's the cruiserweight champion right now? Do we know this? Do we have this information written
Kushida.
down? Yeah, shit, eh?
Yeah. So I think I just heard that the reason he's been gone for 3 weeks. I think he had COVID.
Classic Kushida, getting COVID.
'Cause he was supposed to fight Roddy, and then we just never got the match. And I guess we'll still get it whenever he's.
Wasn't he also supposed to fight Kyle O'Reilly at one point, or did that happen and I just forgot about it?
I can't remember.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Anyways, Escobar, way to go. Breakout star. Breakout star is a shooty, I should say.
Yeah.
I should say.
But, these next 2 guys kind of broke out of nowhere. Impressive debut here from Diamond Mine. We have Julian and Brutus Creed taking on Chucky, Viola, and Paxton Averill. I don't know.
I didn't even catch it. I didn't even catch that.
Doesn't matter. The Creed brothers are the ones here that stand out. 4 unknowns overall, but these Diamond Mine guys, they're amateur wrestlers, college backgrounds, and they look pretty good. Hitting a bunch of nice suplexes and, just dominating. Get the big victory. Good first showing for those guys.
Good first showing because, who are the tag team champions?
MSK.
Kidding. Yeah, kidding.
No, I think these guys are the kind of guys that Vince is like, yes, these are the guys we want to build NXT around. These
okay. Well, I guess like we said, it's going to happen soon. It's going to happen. Who knows? Maybe he also, if Vince, maybe he likes MSK or
maybe.
I don't know. I feel bad for all the people. I feel bad for the Ember Moons because there's going to have to be an interaction there, where it's like didn't I fire you?
I hope not.
It's going to happen.
Well, we got some women's tag team title action going on here. Zoe and Io, who we barely ever see, it seems, especially in the ring, defending against Team KC. But, yeah, this reign's been slightly underwhelming so far for the Zoe and Io, but the match itself was good for 4 solid performers here.
So this was actually their first title match defense, since winning, which was over like a month and a half ago. So
yeah, it's been too long. They've just been at restaurants and shit this whole time. And Io is still just being mean to Zoe for whatever reason. Like Zoe's reaching for the tag, and Io's just like, "I don't need your help," and Zoe just has to tag herself in. And one thing that really took away from this match was the entire time there was just this little girl in the crowd shrieking at everything. I don't know if you caught it, but it was annoying the hell out.
Did you think that was somebody in the audience or one of the performers in the ring?
It was a girl, because at one point I spotted her. It was this little girl like jumping up and down in the front railing. She was like, ah!
Like,
just like
in an excited way?
Nonstop. Yeah, like she was having the time of her life, I think. But then I think in between matches, someone probably like security was like, "Hey, shut up," or they turned the mic down over there.
Oh yeah,
but this match especially, I just heard her the whole time, just shrieking.
Maybe she's big. Maybe she's a big,
EO fan.
I was gonna say Casey Catanzaro, but hey,
maybe I don't know. Anyways, yeah, KC, Kaden, they're doing all their big flippy moves, climbing on each other's shoulders. But eventually the finish comes. Zoe hits her flipping GTS thing, and then Io asks for the tag, tags in, hits the moonsault, gets the 3. Champs retain.
Big old retain.
Retention.
The retention until after the match. God's greatest creation, as Corey Graves very creepily says over and over. Gigi Dolan. What's the other girl's name? Mr. name? JC Jane. Thank you. Come down. They beat down Team KC, which you've been saying for weeks now. Is this an official thing?
I mean, I've been saying it a long time. Were they saying it on the show?
No, they don't. And that's...
I say it.
I know you do.
Because, it makes sense. They have the same initials.
Why
wouldn't
you? It totally does. Like, I totally buy it. And I'm just like, where did you come up with this?
It's just so easy. One weird thing was Mandy Rose was wearing, like, a face mask here, wasn't she?
Yeah, well, she came out in a mask. But one of those, like, I broke my nose and now I need to play basketball.
Yeah, like Sheamus.
Like a Sheamus mask or...
but how did she break it? Was it last week when she fought?
It's just, being...
I don't remember anything happening.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't... It could be nose job. Let's speculate.
I mean, maybe.
Okay, let's... next matchup on the card. Got 3 women's matches tonight. I think right before this... William Regal announces a fatal 4-way for a number 1 contendership for the NXT Championship. We're gonna get LA Knight, Ciampa, Peter Dunne, and Kyle O'Reilly.
That'll be next week.
Fantastic. We're not pre-taped anymore, baby. We're doing shit live.
Yes, and then one other thing before the next match, we did get the other half, the bachelor party going on for Dexter Lumis. And I gotta say, this guy should be his best man. Cameron Grimes was just treating everyone, spending up for the boys. He was handing out $100 bills to everyone. They got the stretch limo going. And him and Lumis, he's like, "Hey, I got the party, I got the wedding covered," and he offers him a truce, and they shake on it. So hey, Dexter and Cameron, buddies. It's
funny that Corbin and Grimes have the same gimmick.
Yeah, Corbin stole it. He doesn't.
And Grimes
deserve
is way so much better at it. Yeah, he's so much better at it.
But they're not going to a strip club or anything. They're going to a go-kart track. So they're just having a Grand Prix. They do some axe throwing and
they play laser tag at one point.
Yeah, and when they're doing the axe throwing, like Dexter's perfect and Johnny misses, so Dexter comes up behind him and just grabs his hand, shows him the proper grip and technique. Johnny has a great throw, and that was the official bonding moment. They just turn, smile at each other, thumbs up. And then laser tag, trampoline park. They finally end. They touch hands. They signify the bond. Indy and Candice run out. They're all happy. Everyone's happy. Johnny's like, "Come on, guys, let's go have a wedding." And that'll be on your big debut next week. the rebrand, the main event.
Wow.
I think is the wedding.
A
maybe.
fatal 4-way and a wedding? God.
Yeah.
And a bright, colorful logo?
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
It's fantastic, yeah. A lot of great stuff in between. But like we said, that third women's match of the night, the big anticipation, this is of Mei Ying.
Yeah, we've seen her just sitting there for months now, waiting.
Sitting there, pointing her finger, not really doing much. But she's taking on Virginia Ferry.
Yeah.
And the way that it was spelt when it came, I mean, I guess if your last name's Ferry, obviously it's not going to be AI, it's going to be ER.
It's like the boat.
But like,
like
the
boat.
the Virginia Ferry sounds like a boat. And I was really worried I was going to hear them on commentary a lot during this match saying her name, but good thing that didn't happen, because this one was pretty much over and done with in 37 seconds.
Did you time it?
No,
Or are you just
but
guessing?
I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, no. Mei Ying was just these vicious throat strikes. So that's her thing. Just boom, chop to the throat, big boots, chokes her opponent out, puts her down to the mat for the 3 count. Dominant win. The ship has sunk. The Virginia Mary. We hardly knew you.
The Virginia Ferry.
Or Ferry, yeah. So.
Yeah, both sound like. But yeah, so the whole Tian Sha thing really hit that snag when Xia Li got hurt. You know, they felt really less effective, and maybe there's a point where you're just like, shit, we just got to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, Ying, we didn't get to see much from her, so they're just going for that big monster character for now. We don't really know what she can do in the ring.
Kind of like an Omos thing, just like they win.
Yeah, I'm sure she can do more than Omos, but who knows, really? I know nothing about her.
Never know.
Never know, but let's go to the main event. We got tag team title match. MSK defending against Danny Lorcan, sorry, Danny Burch. But yeah, nice mix of styles here. You had the big high flyers versus the mat-based technical wrestlers here. The crowd was actually kind of behind MSK here. They were into them.
It was a little more split than...
more split. They weren't like... Yeah. So,
More
they're
split.
still not... They're not chanting MSK at any point.
Yeah, we're not over.
But
they're not over yet, although they've been champions for what feels like months now.
Like 6 months, yeah.
Jesus
They chanted, "This is
Christ."
awesome," though, at one point.
Oh, yeah?
This
We
is
got an awesome chant? That's pretty good.
Yeah. So, at least they liked the match. It was fun. Eventually, MSK hit the up and down, get the win to retain. And then afterwards, Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland are not happy. They beat down Burch and Lorcan, signifying kicking them out of the group.
Wow.
So they're not happy with their performance, yeah.
I don't know, they're not happy with the performance, but Peter Dunne and Ridge Holland, there's a lot of British beef right there.
Yeah. But it seems like they're aligned at the moment.
And that, them just as a duo could be dominant as their own. Oh, imagine those two against the old Ciampa Thatcher. Oh.
Yeah.
But
just let one of those teams beat MSK.
And the show closes out, we get our copyright, we get our trademark with Peter Dunne, the last thing that we saw of the black and gold brand. Peter Dunne's snarling mug. And not only was that the end of this week's episode of NXT, but yeah, that was the end of NXT, right?
An era.
End
of an era.
Wow, Jesus Christ. I can't believe we got through it. Some great times, mostly the ones that involve Adam Cole. But it's nice to know that more of those times are on the horizon. It's probably this week on Dynamite. I think both him and Bryan Danielson. That's going to be a tough one to remember also.
Yeah, that's going to take a lot.
Because the name, because
I'm sure JR will say Daniel Bryan a lot.
Oh yeah, he just literally flopped. Yeah, I bet on JR's monitor, it just has a big Bryan Danielson.
Yeah. You should just have a list of names just written.
Ruby Soho, Bryan Adam Cole. Let's get into our final segment of the week before we kick out. Of course, we're talking about the Wrestler of the Week.
It's the Wrestler of the Week. Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. The Wrestler of the
I'm gonna start you off on this one. It doesn't need to be said. The Lucha Bros. Ray Phoenix, Penta. You know what? I didn't get my destroyer off the top of the cage. But hey, I'm still gonna get a destroyer off something else. I know I will, because these guys love falling.
Top rope was pretty good.
That was pretty damn good. These guys just love falling off of their head and onto their necks, and and to do it so safe. They love their pile drivers, which Brian Alvarez says is like
great move.
One of the safest moves to get. And when things,
I mean, as long as you do it correctly.
Apparently, it's all about, because it's all, you just land on his, the thighs. You land on the meat, and that's neither here nor there. I'm calling it right now. This is my match of the year. I'm calling this right now. Lucha Bros.
Lucha Brothers. I'm calling it right now. Unanimous decision. Lucha Brothers, wrestler of the week. Yes, what a performance. What a family. New champs. Before we were thinking all along this was Jurassic Express's match, but the end result, everyone's just as happy. The match was amazing, so it doesn't really matter. Lucha Bros.
Yeah, just last week we were like, there's no way Bucks retain. We give it Jurassic Express. This moment was probably way better because we didn't see it coming. And that's all the time we have for this week of the show. Thanks for listening. Rate, review, like, subscribe. The show is everywhere, and can't wait. We'll probably be normal, maybe normal-ish schedule next week. Where the fallout from All Out is going to be huge.
Yeah, we'll get some big promos tomorrow.
There's going to be some big shit going down here on Dynamite Rampage this week. Of course, Smackdown live from Madison Square Garden. And we'll be back next week. Mike, take care of yourself.
All right, baby.
Baby.
Bye-bye.
Shoot.